folks. Welcome to the show. This is a Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp.
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
And you're listening to 88.1 FM, KPPPLP, Fargo-Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. Tonight on my show, documentary Caravan, about a new documentary that is coming out about the caravan and the propaganda that is behind those that made the film and those that are in the film.
Yeah.
What is this really all about? Updates as well on the Border Support Network, Evan Duke, and his upcoming court date, Duke.
Oh, yeah.
For those felony charges we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we'll talk about Al Otro Lado's new fundraiser and how much they got. It was $200,000.
Wow.
And we're going to talk about one of the people that spoke at the premiere of the documentary about the caravan. I believe its name is Caravan. Father Solalinde, a well-known human rights defender, as he is called, although other people have objected both to his support in the past of Pueblos Sin Fronteras and his lack of resolve, I would say, I would call it, in holding those of Pueblos Sin Fronteras and others of the Coyotes accountable, being more forthright with information that he knows about them and their criminal operations, because he's talked to the migrants that have been left in Mexico, that have been charged money and basically stiffed by the Coyotes. The criminal element that is involved. He knows all of these things. And yet, he's sitting up in Mexico saying some crazy things at this opening of this film about capitalism being evil and it being represented by the supremacist Trump. No joke.
Wow.
You really have to hear this for yourselves. It sounds like some kind of dystopian movie, but it's real. It's a real thing that's happening, unfortunately. And we will go through all of Father Solalinde's questionable contacts besides the Pueblos Sin Fronteras, Irineo Mujica. We'll walk through all of that. And I have an interesting person. I found an interesting person that is tagged in a post about Father Solalinde. And you'll never guess what I found. A connection to Standing Rock. You got to see it all on tonight's show here on Mexican Crossing Lines. But first, I want to thank folks for sending information and helping do research and for everything you guys do out there. I also want to let folks know, I hope I can last that long. You're going to stick it out with me till we do the super chat later, Duke?
Depends how this show goes.
Depends on this. If you're too tired, you won't do the super chat?
No, we're doing the super chat.
Are we doing the super chat?
We're doing the super chat.
Once again, we worked extra hard to give you a super chat with exclusive content on Paloma for fraud. It's going to be mind-blowing what I'm going to show you next. You really do not want to miss this show. If you want to show your support for our work, for our super chats, for our super chat work, the extra content that we're bringing you, and you appreciate what you find there, please feel free to donate to our work. I hear that it drives Pendeja for Fraud crazy. Let me start off by letting Duke run us through the ways that you can contact us and thanking folks for their support.
Well, I have to thank you right away for watching tonight. Really, really appreciate it. We take a lot of these programs and we strip down the audio and make it radio ready to put on the radio locally in Fargo-Moorhead. So I'm going to give you some ways of getting a hold of us. One way is calling our message line at 701-566-0917. Again, that number is 701-566-0917. can leave a message up to 3 minutes. Say what you have to say, and we could use it on the air. You can let us if you want it on the air. Beyond that, if you want to do old-fashioned email, you can send Cindy a message at cindy@kpppfm.com or me, Duke, at kpppfm.com. And you can find us on Facebook at 88.1 FM Fargo Moorhead, the People's Press Project, and Mexi-Can. Also, you can follow Cindy's public page at @CindyGoSchempp. Also, you can go to kpppfm.com. That's our radio station website, and you can look around at our programming, and you can go to Mexican Crossing Lines and see every show that's been done on that platform. You can find Finding Me. You can find some of the other shows. Also, don't forget to go to the Donate tab, kpppfm.com/donate. We're a nonprofit organization. Every donation is tax deductible, helps us run the station, helps us keep afloat. It helps us improve the conditions and equipment in the station and keep on going and keep on improving. Also, you can go to YouTube and find my YouTube channel at Duke1517. Again, that's Duke1517. It resolves as Duke Gomez-Schempp. Had that channel for about 10 years, and we have a lot of content on there as well as playlists, and you can find the Mexican Crossing Lines there. All the super chats will go on that channel also. And go back to kpppfm.com, have a look around, make a donation. You'll get a tax receipt right away, and also at the end of the year. We are a non-commercial, not-for-profit radio station, and we basically formed a nonprofit to be able to develop this radio station. It took us a number of years, took a lot of donors, took resources that we actually got on the air, and we've been doing great. We're one of the most popular alternative radio stations in Fargo Moorhead. And the nugget in all that is that's Facebook Lives, YouTube Lives. That's additional platforms that we are putting our stuff out there so we can reach you, people in other communities, people in other countries. So thank you, each and every one of you who support us and are watching. Please share this out. Please share this out. And then more people will be able to watch it when it's happening now or once it's actually stored.
Yeah, and also I'm doing Spanish programs now with Beto Alfa Noticias. Check out my Facebook page, 88.1 FM Fargo Moorhead, to follow that channel. I will be doing more shows in Spanish with them because, everybody needs to share the information. So let's dig right in. If you would post the, if they don't lock me up, post, this is Evan Duke talking about how he's got to go to court. He says, solidarity. You want to read this one, Duke?
Yeah. I'm heading down to Portland Thursday night. I have a hearing on Friday morning. I was recently charged with, including a riot, assault 3, and criminal mischief for allegedly punching a neo-Nazi on August 17th. If they don't lock me up, it would be good to hang with some of the Portland friends and fam. It's also hashtag Climate Strike Day. So Evan's going to court over the stuff we showed on our show, the stuff that we showed on our show. And he has a court hearing on this coming Friday. This post was just made last night. And, so it's like he's in a big hurt to trouble on this one.
So do you think that article that was in Laura Loomer by Tori Says with all the information from our investigations here at KPPP helped the law enforcement with bringing charges against this man?
Well, I think so. Because
Mayhaps?
it was very detailed, lots of social media. And usually people go back and they start deleting all their stuff on social media. But his stuff is all still up. And we got a lot of stuff that was in that article.
Put it into a nice, neat little package that law enforcement or anybody can use. Right?
Right.
It's all packaged neatly. And he talked about, needing a lawyer or needing some kind of legal assistance. And the person is telling him, don't talk on Facebook about this stuff. And he says, you shouldn't say anything on Facebook by text, though, as they may subpoena it as evidence. If we're going to chat, we need a secure way, maybe voice over PMs.
Yeah, and this person putting this out is a lawyer in Australia, and was saying to Evan, "You need a lawyer?" And he says, "Oh, sure, comrade." And then he's like, they start talking back and forth, and the lawyer says, "Hey, we maybe shouldn't be talking here on your page in a public chat because they can subpoena it,
Yep.
And it doesn't look like they went offline. They kept on talking about it.
Yeah, and of course, then other criminals that are part of the Border Support Network jumped on the conversation, like Vanessa Dundon.
Oh, Vanessa Dundon.
And she wanted to, wish him well, basically let him know that, she loves him, loves him.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, if you go to jail, I've got your books. I'm going to get you some books for the jail. And then he says, hey, I'm going to try to walk out of there. But send me some letters and pics if they roll me up. So if he's like, send me letters and pictures. And then Vanessa says, nah, they don't got beep. But being a good American like any American would. They ain't got beep. You were being a good American like any American would. No. They wouldn't do that. Most Americans wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Would stand up to that BS. Stand up. You were the aggressors.
Mm-hmm.
And then she posts a silly picture of them. And Vanessa then says, oh my God, only smile from you online ever in history. Then she says, I got you. Do you have an attorney, by the way? And she tags some Rachel Letterman person. The Rachel Letterman and Michelle Cook were both part of the WPLC. Michelle Cook is that one that was traveling around with the rapist Red Wolf Pope.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're staying out with criminals.
Yeah,
it's okay.
really.
And then she says, or Susie account, Evan says, I have an attorney for the hearing, but that could change.
Oh boy.
Maybe not even for the hearing.
That sounds.
And then he goes, I'll tell you more about it in private. Oh. And then Vanessa says, use water to smudge. Only medicine you will have, but yet most powerful. Ancestors are with you. And he goes, oh-ho.
Oh, yeah.
And Vanessa then says, if you go into the prison or in jail, I'm going straight to my medicine man. No lie. And Evan says, I would be sending lots of likes and hearts right now, but Facebook has me banned for liking posts and commenting currently. That's a new one. And he laughs.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. And then she says, me too. As of last week. So they're both banned from commenting and liking, but probably because they maliciously spam pages and do nasty things. Mm-hmm. Can't even end Facebook fundraiser and start a new one.
Yeah.
And then it says, she says to Evan, bless yourself with water top to bottom before court. Only medicine you will have, but most powerful, do your prayers and water from bathroom sink will get you out. And Evan says, thank you for being my direct. No. What is this about water from the bathroom sink?
From the toilet, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You bañate, cochino. Just take a bath. Get under that shower head.
Exactly.
Get in there. Use soap.
Yeah. Bless your...
This is the blessing. If you want to use water to bless yourself, that's the first place you should start.
Then you go in the court all
cochino.
Wet. Your hair's all wet.
Yeah, they should be clean. They should be cleaning this blessing with water. Aho. You know how all of the Paloma videos have the hi Baldy.
Hi Baldy.
Mm-hmm. Well, at Standing Rock, everyone said all the time, they were like, aho. Mm-hmm. There's some annoying things we heard a lot of at Standing Rock. Yep. That was one of them. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because they're criminals, but they're dumb criminals, and it's a little bit funny sometimes. Yeah. And let's now go to how the El Otro Lado people are doing in their fundraising efforts with Rising Together. It looks like they were able to most recently Rising made an investment. That's what they called it.
Really?
This is the story of two of the families whose lives you've changed through your most recent investment of $200,000 in Al Otro Lado, funds devoted to identifying the most vulnerable children at risk in the U.S. migrant detention system and marshaling volunteers and attorneys to advocate on their behalf. This is the Crooked Lawyers Group. And look at what they have the audacity to say here, Duke. We know they make fake families. We know that they were involved with the the Border Support Network people that gave drugs to the migrants and helped kidnap an unaccompanied minor. And yet, you have the audacity to say the first family was separated at the border. The father and one daughter was detained while the mother and her 6-year-old girl were sent back into the daughter, blah, blah. While back in Tijuana, the 6-year-old girl narrowly escaped being kidnapped by smugglers.
Wow.
They have the audacity to complain and raise money off of the fact that people almost got smuggled or, escaped hands of smugglers when they work with smugglers.
Exactly. The thing that throws me too in that post is that they called this $200,000 an investment.
Isn't that weird?
As a nonprofit, we don't have investors because a tax-deductible donation to an organization is just that. It's a gift. And because I had someone say, well, if I get some investors for you, how will they get their money back? And I said, they don't get their money back. It's a donation. Their money comes back in a tax break at the end of the year when they itemize. And so it's tax-deductible. That's what their payback. We don't take their money or give them shares or anything like that. There's no payback except the work we do. So when they call it an investment, it's like, it sounds to me like, well, what's going on behind that? I don't really know, but it doesn't sound right to me.
I know, it sounds really weird. But there are other people out there with their GoFraudMes raising money while they crime in Mexico, like Devi Machete. You remember this lady? She was the one that literally in the picture I showed with the machete that was she's got the nose ring and the dreads, and she works with the Viento y Maria shelter, comedor, lunchroom. She has a GoFundMe out. The GoFundMe says they have raised $6,850 out of a $7,550 goal. So they're almost there.
Wow.
81 donors. Anonymous donors are making donations. Look at this one of 1,000. This is how you launder money to mercenary activists. You launder it through these GoFraudMes. And what that does, it allows people like Devi Machete working with organized crime groups that are smuggling and trafficking men, women, and children. Minami Iizuka is watching.
Oh, really?
I had to say hello to one of our former interns.
From Japan.
From Japan, from Minnesota to Japan. Ohayo gozaimasu. And I'm so happy that you are here with us. And thank you very much for supporting our station even after you've left. I hope things are going great for you in your new endeavor. Right now, I am talking, for those of you who just joined us, I'm talking about these mercenary activists that are working with smugglers and traffickers in Mexico like Pueblos Sin Fronteras. There is no doubt. There's ample evidence that we have shown you of the people that are working with Pueblos Sin Fronteras being coyotes, crossing the border illegally with people, being arrested, being questioned by Interpol, being put on watch lists, interrogated at the border, all of it. We've shown you all of that. And how do these people go for months and months and months in Tijuana? Now it's been a year or longer for some of these con artivists. And what is funding them? They say they're all volunteers. They say they don't get paid. How is that possible? How is that possible? Do you know? I don't mean to be insensitive. It looks like this woman definitely has some tumors. and that she definitely has some medical documentation at the bottom that appears to indicate that she has actual treatment needs. But I will say, there was one of these con artists from Standing Rock that he did raise thousands of dollars, over $4,000 off of unsuspecting people on the internet because he pretended that he was shot in the chest twice. Because he pretended he was shot in the chest. He took an image of an old x-ray to show people on the internet so that they would believe he had been shot. And his con artist friends made videos raising money for him, spreading his Western Union, spreading his Venmo, his PayPal, his this and his that. They all helped him. And how many times did we see during the Caravan in the Border Support Network, they were like, there's a woman that needs a C-section.
Yeah, that's right. They're taking the opportunity to raise money. And,
and it's urgent. It's a surgery. We need it right now. We need for 2 days from now.
And there's legitimate, donations are needed all over the country, all over the world. When someone has the benevolence of donating money, time, materials, supplies, those sorts of things, that's needed. But the people we've been following are scammers. They're, who knows what they're doing with the stuff they're getting. It's the same thing we learned at Standing Rock. People donated so much equipment. when they demolished the camp, they had like stacks of 2x4s that you could build a house with.
They burned a bunch of stuff.
They burned stuff. They took stuff to the dump. They're still in these packages. So all those people that donated all those things, many of them were thrown in the garbage. Many were taken and sold and stole. And so when you see that sort of behavior, you get a lot more cautious when you're going to donate to someone. But these guys are out there doing it with the Caravan, and they've been doing it since Standing Rock.
And I'm going to say this. God, you're getting me mad again. I'm getting angry just remembering the crap. But here's the thing. When people started speaking out against it, calling it fraud, calling it theft, calling it lies, people called me names. People cursed me out. They did videos cursing me out. Like Ryan Vizens did, saying, F you, Cindy. At least we have a heart. A heart for what? A heart for liars? At least you were sharing the fraudulent GoFraud-me's of liars that were defrauding people out of thousands of dollars. You feel proud of that?
Wow.
That's what they did. And they called me heartless. They called me cruel. They called me mean because I dared to question that this con man really had a wound, a bullet wound. Mm-hmm. He didn't. It was all fake. So I'm just going to say that I'm not saying that this one is. I'm saying don't get ticked off with me because I'm telling you that these people are fraudulent.
Yeah.
And that I have suspicions of all of them. Mm-hmm. We never get to find out for sure. And there's a lot of them that are raising money for some kind of cancer or something like that. And maybe it's all true. Maybe karma has gotten them for doing all of this criming. And God said, you know what? You're in trouble now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Possible too. But, I have good reason to be suspicious. And she, and they all start with this, our dear friend and comrade, she was diagnosed with a very serious tumor, now about the size of a lemon, but actively growing in her womb, causing excruciating pain as a dark-skinned Chicanx queer femme with Filipino heritage that grew up in the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I'm going to spare you that mind-boggling sentence. But anyway, she says she's been working since November. She has been living in Tijuana, working with a grassroots collective of queer and femme organizers doing mutual aid. There's that mutual aid again.
That's right.
Are you guys paying attention? I hope you're learning. Mm-hmm. Mutual aid is anarchist speak for this festival-like mentality, Burning Man mentality, Standing Rock mentality, where you show up and everything is free and socialism is good and everyone just helps everyone. And they pass out free cigarettes and drugs.
Yeah.
That's what mutual aid is, okay, guys? And direct action work with LGBTQ plus and political refugees. They helped to start the Hecate Society. The Hecate Society is connected to the It's Going Down group, which I told you is the the thing that they put on that watch list. They're part of the people on the watch list, the government watch list, being investigated for crimes that we keep talking to you about. And they opened up the soup kitchen / whatever the hell it is. It's a flop house for criminals. In my opinion, that's going on. It's going on because I know that they have criminals amongst them and they hang out. So anyway, they want your money, and I guess they've got most of it already. So there's that. Yeah. And then, of course, I wanted to share with you Douglas Ovedo's most recent post. Remember, Douglas Ovedo is the singing coyote. Migrant that was working with the Pueblos Sin Fronteras and Al Otro Lado, and the American con artist / singer. I'm using air quotes right now because he is horrible at singing. It's so awful. I cannot stand listening to them. And Douglas Ovedo considers himself to be an entertainer too.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how many people that were entertainers showed up at Standing Rock? Like rappers.
Yeah, they had a night stage, and they would have a generator, and then they would play music till late in the night, and they'd have comedians, and people would pen songs, and some of the musicians I really liked went out there. I'm like, oh, Neil Young, where are you at Standing Rock? And then they would get entertainers, and then they had a casino outside of the encampment, and everybody would go hang out there like celebrities and get rooms and, do all sorts of stuff that would get lots of people in trouble and arrested. And so that was people were flopping out in the hallways. You'd walk through the hallways, there would be hundreds of people laying on the floor. And it's like, this is like...
It's a festival culture.
Like a refugee camp is what it was like.
But it's also like this, like Woodstock, this idea of anarchy and just like... And then people passed out food and everyone made love under a tree. It's like... It's a little cuckoo, but it's part of what I think anarchist socialists' imaginary world is really about. Because I see a lot of it. I mean, haven't you seen a lot of that?
Yeah, for sure.
So, Douglas Ovedo made this long post, and I'm going to find it on my end so you do not have to...
It's all in Spanish.
Yeah, it's all in Spanish, so you won't be able to understand it anyway.
I'll understand it if you say it in English.
Well, I mean, I wanted you to flash it up there so people know what I'm reading from.
That's right.
And what it looks like. And, if you want to, you can go to the post and scroll through it all the way down to the bottom rather slowly, just one time, so that you can show them the picture that goes with it of their shelter that they have in Tijuana, El Puente, which I have been giving you updates on. You can start doing that right away and put it through as quickly as possible, so there's not just a bunch of words sitting there statically for a long time that people don't really want to stare at. And then I'll just keep reading from it. But I wanted to tell you who is tagged in this, because that's a really important thing. So those little blue names that are going by, those are the important things. And one in particular there, Sarah Sandoval, I did an entire show about. Remember, she's the stewardess.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
And some of these names I recognize and some of them I don't. And of course, this is the shelter that they were going to build another building on. And Ovedo is the one with the beard. He was the one that was at Playas de Tijuana working with the Border Angels, rapping at that giant banner of the two dead migrants, the father and the daughter that were, photographed and that made international news. And it was very, very sad. And of course, there you see a comment from none other than Kei Kurimoto, one of the people that has been involved with Standing Rock, with politicians. She's one of those top influencers that is connected to the money and the power in our politics. And so I just wanted to show you that really quick and talk about the fact that they're talking about, he's talking about his journey, you know, and it kind of makes me a little grossed out, because I know that the people like Maria Mesa that work closely and do the bidding of and are the faces of and the puppets of, I mean, you know how infuriated the American people were when they staged that photo with these two little twin kids, two little blonde-haired twin kids from Honduras. You don't think that every single part of that scam was planned?
Oh, yeah.
Every single detail, from the diapers visible to the no shoes. I do not care what they tell you. I've seen it done again and again and again. I know. And they at first even said that a kid had been hit in the head with a tear gas canister and died. They wanted you to be furious about something that never should have happened. That those kids that mom should not have gotten a fast pass with an escort of Congress members like Nanette Barragan and the dirty, crooked lawyers al otro lado. And the help of Pendeja for Trump. She should not have gotten a free pass and an escort from the Coyote, Pollera, friend of Palama for Trump, Sonia, whose real name is Christina. Should have never happened. No, why are these people, why are the people that put their faces out there, that do the dirty work, the bidding of these con artivists and mercenary activists in other countries, violating the laws of other countries, undermining the sovereignty of their own, and they get rewarded with the fast pass into the country. They're the ones that get the asylum. While other people, hear me on this, while other people that were part of the backlog of nearly 100,000 before all of this poop show started, wait in line and continue to wait in line. This guy that you've seen over and over and over again, making the news, speaking to media, being the puppet, organizing the caravan, traveling with the caravan, saying exactly what the con artivists and the propagandists in America close to the Democratic Socialist Party want you to know. They're fleeing for their lives. Oh, no. They hate the dictator. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. They're climate refugees. That's the one. That's the one, because that fits with the Green New Deal. That's the one. And they're the ones that toe the line, that repeat the lies like Maria Mesa did in that video that Paloma for Trump did not translate to you Americans, that she cares to inform so much. That the Chinito staged the Chinito, one of the ones that staged the photo of Maria Mesa running with her kids, also paid for her food, also got her a canopy for her tent.
Yep.
How is it that these are the people that go and eat the pizza? How is it that they're the ones that go to the pool halls? How is it that they're the ones that look like they're dressed so nicely and have the best phones? How is it that they always have phone service? How is it that they got nice jewelry? How is it that these migrants are getting better treatment in Mexico than the deported Mexicans that have returned to their own country?
Yeah.
I would like someone to answer those questions for me, but none of these people will. None of them will. And, you know, this guy, oh my God, they have the audacity to walk around with the words of God in their mouth, talking about God. You're working with human smugglers and criminals and organized crime, people that are recycling children, people that are renting out children, people that are committing rape, fraud, kidnapping, and worse. And you're talking about God? Aren't you afraid of the actual power of God? Aren't you afraid of the retribution of God, the righteous indignation of God? Because God is real. Mr. Oviedo. Anyway, he goes on and on about that, and he tags Lolly B. Laura Christina Livingston Berger, who was advocating that there was really nothing wrong for the sacred coals of the Standing Rock sacred fire to be taken to Burning Man, where there was a bunch of naked people and drugged orgies dancing around, mocking ceremonies of Indians because free love. Yeah, she should be in a post along with anything having to do with God. I think not.
Yeah.
Kei Kurimoto, I've already spoken about. Adam Elfers, I've already spoken about. They're all tagged in here. Gaba Cortez is the wife of Hugo Castro, of both of whom are part of Pueblos Sin Fronteras, partners in crime, the Border Angels. The Border Angels. And there's a bunch of other people, but I also wanted to remind you that Sarah Sandoval is in here. Remember how she was very, very connected to the people of Standing Rock. That's an important thing for you to remember. Well, they're celebrating. By the way, Duke, they finally opened that shelter. They got it open in record time. They got so much money. They got so much money from people so quickly so that they could build another shelter for the smugglers to smuggle people. To smuggle people into the United States. Guess what they're celebrating now, Duke?
What's that?
Well, Border Support Network posted about it, and it was posted up all over the place. Here's the post from Lolly B celebrating. If you'd read that, please.
Yep, let me get down to it here. It feels hopeful to have some positive news to share that one of our Honduran friends actually did get asylum.
One. Remember, this is the woman in the video with Jake Lee Harris.
Yeah, saying that
both of whom I believe are on that database list. They probably are. I know Harris is.
Yeah, they were saying on that video we played it numerous times that most of the people, pretty much all of them, aren't going to get asylum.
Exactly.
You know, and they were down there doing all their education and all their leafleting and spending a lot of resources hanging out with people and giving them false hope.
I caught them on tape in their own stupid videos that they make for themselves. All these people are so dumb because they put the evidence in the videos.
Yeah.
And of course, they all threaten to sue me for slander. And all these pendejos don't understand that if it's your own words, I don't know. You can't fix stupid. Anyway, they gave this guy asylum. Here's Adam Elfers celebrating another one of those crimen with Oviedo.
Yeah.
You know, they really committed numerous crimes. One, the smuggling and all of that, but also these people should not be making music. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true.
I mean, that's cruel and unusual punishment for the world. But, you know, they all want to get famous. They're all addicted to the possibility of being famous. You see how they fit the profile, folks?
Yep.
I know there's some of you out there that are just learning about Standing Rock. Bear with me, folks. There's a lesson there. It's the origin of how I started to wake up to what the left is doing. To the professed left.
Okay.
The extreme. And now I need to educate you. And in order to get the benefit of my education, I have to keep referencing the similarities. Check the similarities of all of these. Want to take a shortcut to fame, not work, not have the skills, not have to pay your dues like everyone else, and just get there or take it from someone else. And there are people that actually fund these yahoos.
Yeah.
Like Pendeja for Trump. So, look at how Kei Kurimoto is just celebrating how this guy got his asylum granted, their buddy and co-conspirator.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that these other folks are all involved in working with the smuggling operation, and so is he. How is he so close to everyone that is? And he's the only one that's gotten asylum? What other ones have they celebrated?
Exactly.
How fortunate that it just so happens to be their buddy.
Yeah.
That was helping them be a spokesperson and wrangler for the migrants.
Mm-hmm.
How convenient, huh?
Yep.
He got it. The others didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you realize that that was the way it was always going to be?
Exactly. But they're doing this to raise more money and to justify all the money they took. Because they're saying, we need all this money for all these people and all these things. We need to house them here. We need to do all this stuff. Now we have to put them in houses. We need to pay for their food, their medicine, all these sort of things. And then one person gets asylum. Then they're like, hey, big party, big photo op, show your dollars are working well here, even though we've gotten thousands and thousands and thousands. And one person made it through, but all the rest haven't. Send us some more money, please.
I want everyone to think about what I'm about to say. I want everyone to think about what I'm about to tell you, okay? Do you remember how we couldn't, swing a dead cat without running into a Lolly B. Jake Harris video?
Yeah.
It was constant. They were always putting out their stuff. Then, poof, for a bit, things got really hot. And Lolly B was doing all those crazy videos, like she's doing a live stream. And she's like, oh, cops, gotta go. She's just like running. Oh, guys, I've got to go. I see some cops right now. I got to.
Yeah.
It's not safe here. Bye.
Yep, exactly.
So she was losing her damn mind. And so, and then they disappeared for a while. And we heard, they posted that Jake Lee was going to Africa. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. And
this was when some of the first African caravanners started making an appearance, like less than 10, I want to say, like very small number, right? You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
When that happened, Jake Lee Harris disappeared and he went to Africa.
Really?
And guess what? He's back. Mm-hmm. Share the video. Celebration.
Okay. Listo. Familia. Yo estoy aquí en San Diego.
Take 25, just so you know.
Hoy es primero día para Douglas Oviedo. Es en Estados Unidos.
He's in the United
Douglas,
States.
¿qué sientes?
No, muy feliz. Feliz de estar con Jake Lee, Kei Kurimoto, Adam Alford, aquí en San Diego. Un día estuve del otro lado de la frontera. Siempre me paraba para ver hacia acá.
I would always look this way.
Qué difícil es dar mi último paso.
This is very difficult to do this last step.
Diego,
but now I'm living here
ahora
now.
digo, pude dar mi último paso.
I could do the final step finally.
Now we're gonna throw him in the water.
And now we're
Hey!
Baptismo!
Oh my God!
Wow! You came back from Germany to do that, huh?
I think it's very interesting that Jake Lee went to Africa when the very first Africans were starting to show up, and everyone in Mexico was like, "What's going on? Mm-hmm. People from Africa are coming here now? What?" They're like, Oscar Ramirez was like reporting this stuff. It's like, Cindy, there's people from Bangladesh, Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh my God, what's happening? And then Africans started coming in. We're like, oh crap. Now they're coming all the way from, Africa. And then Jake Lee Harris, boop, disappears.
Yep.
And now that we have people fighting with the Border Patrol, National Guard, the INAMI, and the police in riots in the southern border of Mexico, which are almost all Africans, and Pueblo Sin Fronteras is down there helping them out and winding them up, organizing them. Because until Irineo showed up, that stuff was not happening. Irineo and his human right defender buddies, lawyers, that was not happening. And now it's happening. And guess what? Jake Lee Harris is back now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I noticed these things. I noticed what's going on. Now I want to share a video from an article that I want to talk about with you. And this is about this documentary I've been telling you about with its false propaganda about the caravans and why the people came. You know, they want to tell us all these stupid reasons that really they have no proof. They have no way of saying it has anything to do with climate change. They have no proof. They have no way. It's a convenient talking point for very specific people. So these documentaries like the Awake movie, the Nightmare on Elm Street of Standing Rock, whatever they called it, featuring all the criminals of Standing Rock. This is just repeating itself. Mark my words. When I started telling you about the actors and the actresses and all that, remember I said there's documentary filmmakers, the same pattern, and they're making money. They're going to be selling their books, and it's all happening. Everything I told you, it's all happening. And this one is called Caravans. Here is the clip. It's in Spanish. I lost my house. I lost my business because of the gangs. They gave us 24 hours to get out. And I took the decision to join the caravans. Because if not, we would have died. Caravans is a documentary that gives the first-hand account of those who are in these giant mobilizations, the Central Americans that try to reach the United States, how these caravans are created, and the obstacles they face. Rubén Figueroa, Mesoamerican movement person, and Ángeles de la Frontera, Estela Jiménez, are some of the protagonists showing how they help people and giving them advice and sad stories like this one of Leslie, the girl with cerebral palsy, is traveling with her father looking for treatment and a better life. At the premiere, Father Solalinde, one of the greatest defenders of human rights, was present to speak and shelters them at his shelter, brothers on the way journey. This migration is different, very different than the ones before, because this is the brutal confrontation of the capitalist system represented by the strongest man in the world, most powerful man, a white supremacist who did not invent Trumpism. It already existed before him. But he's the precise personality to create this crisis and this confrontation with migration. It's like turning the screws and finding the breaking point. And when is Mexico going to get tired and stand up against this provocation? There are no good people or bad people here. There's only different realities. It's very complex. And you just have to know it's a reality. So you have to be able to read this complexity. We can't simplify or reduce things. It's something that is so transcendent that it will leave its mark on the 21st century. In the beginning of September, you can start watching this special on the Discovery Channel that tells us how they migrated and why, and how social media played a role in bringing them here. Oh, so they could find a better future. The kind of suffering that these people go through. The greatest suffering is among the people that are migrants. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that one.
So disappointed in Father Solalinde. I think he was able to get away with what he was saying and his rhetoric like many pastors and priests can, because normally, when you're talking about some kind of criminal, some of the people, for example, that are like recycling children and creating fake marriages and kidnapping and all sorts of, horrible things like that. And you find out, like they're, sex trafficking, LGBTQIA children and things like that. You're like, yeah, they need to go to jail, go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yep.
Throw them away. Throw away the key. But not priests, because they're all about peace and love and their forgiveness and grace and all of that, right? But, oh my God. At some point, Father Solalinde, I was just looking at him going, please shut up. Like, you sound so crazy now. Now you sound crazy. Why are you saying this stuff? Like, in Mexico, this just, I hope, I'm praying and that most Mexicans are like, white supremacist Trump. What? What are you talking about? Like, somehow all you have to do is say Trump and people are hypnotized into stupidity. And they're like, oh, climate change refugee. Yes. Is it working in Mexico? If you're in Mexico and you think it's working, please let me know. Let me know. I'm praying it's not. Maybe I'm sticking my head in the sand. I know that a lot of things, people get away with a lot of stuff in Mexico because there's corruption and there's so much corruption. But I would like to think that, those of us who are being presented good information, at least, are able to see through this total bull crap. And let me just say that maybe it is the ties that bind Father Solalinde to so many bad actors, which he cannot, I don't know, maybe he can't break those ties. Maybe he doesn't want to. I don't know the ties that bind him. But Solalinde has accused Pueblos Sin Fronteras, as he did in this clip of this article, where he says that, he accused Pueblos Sin Fronteras of using the Central American migrants and the Mexican migrants, including using him to cross coyotes, people with weapons, and to do this in an impactful, damaging way, impacting way in the Tijuana border, giving those folks no solution. And he narrated in an article in Sin Embargo, in the newspaper Sin Embargo, how he was utilized by that organization to transfer migrants from the city of Mexico with such as activists with Pueblos Sin Fronteras, and that they then boycotted him and stopped him from giving the migrants complete information about their options and to get the undocumented people up at the crack of dawn and force their path toward Tijuana, because they wanted everyone to go to Tijuana, the border city that was declared by the mayor there in a humanitarian crisis. This quote, he said, I could lift up a complaint that states that Pueblos Sin Fronteras has no scruples. Unfortunately, they have taken advantage of all of us. Okay, so I believe that everything he's saying there is truth, and that he has much more knowledge of the truth. But, I found it very disturbing to see him supping with Bertie Gutierrez of Bridges of Love Across Border, who is friends with Deborah Parker. You want to throw up that picture for me? There's Bertie Gutierrez with Padre Solalinde hugging it out at, I don't know, looked like some buffet. I don't know if it was on the U.S. side. I'm guessing that it was, because he came over to the U.S. side to do interviews, including with, Amadeo Rumney, Guggenheim,
that guy.
and so many names, guy. Yeah. the French guy that was running around doing his own documentary, even calling himself a documentary filmmaker, even though he's never made a documentary. Yeah. And then, of course, I saw Hugo Sanchez with Solalinde. As Hugo Sanchez was posting here, you can see Sergio Tamay is tagged, and it says that, and this is from 2013. They say that from 2013 on the migrants topic, in the hotel fiesta with the mayors or the city administrators, people from the PAN party and the new federal government and civil associations from shelters fighting for the betterment of the migrants' lives. In this photo, you see Solalinde, Sergio Tamay of the Border Angels, and you can see the Border Angel guy in the green vest over there. He's a very, very tiny picture, and he's also the one in the bottom middle pic. Can you go back to the text there so I can finish reading what it said? That's right. That's good. And Jose Maria Garcia, I didn't know the name of that last guy, and also there were federal representatives, blah, 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 blah. Is there a relationship there with Father Solalinde and all of the other so-called human defender groups meeting at regularly on these topics at conventions, at places like that? Sure, but I think that it goes even deeper, and I think that this post, I looked up Enrique Morones, the guy that did the narco wedding at the border with Border Patrol. You remember that guy, right? I remember that guy, yeah. And here are Enrique Morones posts. That's not the right graphic. That is not the right graphic.
What's it called?
Enrique, E-N, right there. It's in the one in green, right there, yeah. Mm-hmm. In fact, that other graphic you had there is for the super chat.
Well, to fix it.
I don't want you to show that yet, though, because that's for the super chat.
Here's the one you want.
And you are not going to do any spoiler alerting on my show. Mm-mm. Not tonight, sir. So I looked up Enrique Morones, the guy that did the narco wedding at the border with Border Patrol in 2017, when the Border Patrol realized that border angels are no angels.
Yeah, that's true.
See what I did there? Mm-hmm. And that they're actually working with organized crime, like the narco people and the cartel that guy was with. So they got on the poop list. They got on the naughty list. But you could find a lot of searches with those two. Here's just a few that show Hugo Castro and Enrique Morones tagged in the same posts. You can also see Tristan Call from Pueblos Sin Fronteras, which I talked about on my show yesterday or the day before. There's Morones. There's Solalinde. You look at another post from Hugo Castro, different post, and you see Enrique Morones of Border Angels, Gaba Cortez. You've got another post of Hugo Castro, and of course Enrique Morones is once again in that post. And there's so many more, but if you go to scene 2, you'll see there's even more close ties than that, because Enrique Morones and Solalinde, Father Solalinde, looks like he baptized this baby. Here's the baby Gael, who, according to Hugo Castro, tagged with Father Solalinde, says baptized Gael, and that he had the honor of being, of being with two people that have prizes in human rights, Father Solalinde, who gave the ceremony, and Enrique Morones, the president of Border Angels, who is the godfather of baby Gael. Border Angels tagged, Gaba Cortez tagged, Julio Castro tagged, Naomi Castro tagged. By the way, that documentary that Father Solalinde was talking all his cray nonsense at the beginning of, Gaba Cortez, Hugo Castro's wife, the baby mama of this baby, is in this movie, in this propaganda piece.
I see.
I hope we're making that clear. I just wanted to show you they're friends. And you can see they're holding the baby and they're putting him in the water. And there's Hugo Castro holding his baby, and Solalinde is having a good old laugh there. It's good times. Everybody's having good times. Here is a post from people working with, they got a whole bunch of people tagged there. I'll show you in just a bit who they are. But it says, they have really good vibes. The Border Angels, they're all working together to go and take some day workers that are in San Quentin, this cross that's been blessed, I suppose, by Father Solalinde, that he has personally traveled with, done this pilgrimage around the country, around Mexico, traveling from place to place where the migrants are, where people are incarcerated, where people are in jail, and so it's got some extra special mojo on it.
Yeah.
Some extra special mojo on it. And here are the photos. You can see the Border Angels bus and the cross that is being carried there. So that they are going on this special field trip, guys. Guys. Hi, Baldy. And they sorry, I couldn't help myself. Oh my God. Sorry. I couldn't help myself. Let's look at the tags here. Here are the tags on this picture of the Border Angels with the Solalinde cross, the same people working together on this propaganda piece. Shall we? Mm-hmm. It's Peggy Thompson, Grisel Tanmarin, Gaba Cortez of the Border Angels, Emma Sanchez, El Salfaro, Susana Sandoval. Susana Sandoval. I said, hey, you know who helped the lady that was helping Oviedo raise the money on the fundraiser for the Puente house that he was just posting about before he got his asylum? And a quick fast pass into United States. Sarah Sandoval.
Okay.
The one with all the connections to Standing Rock. Mm-hmm. Member?
Oh, yeah.
You member. Okay. So here is that woman, the new one that you just saw tagged there. This is her profile. I have to go through and look at the other ones that are tagged there, but I had to start looking and I was like, wait a minute. Is this a different profile, a fake profile for the same lady I profiled before that was working with them, that was in Hawaii with Mama Ladana at Mauna Kea? Within weeks of coming here and helping with the bridge house shelter in Tijuana? The same lady that was at Standing Rock that flies around the world on a Delta Airline stewardess's salary.
Yeah.
Somehow. Okay. Doesn't she look like her? Look at her picture. This looks just like that other chick, don't it?
It does, yeah.
And they both have the same last name. Dude, it's not her. It's not her. It's her doppelganger, I think.
Yeah, it is, I guess.
Look at that mole. It's not her. The other one doesn't have a mole.
Okay.
I think they look very, very similar. Look who comments. Three comments down. Who's that?
Dan. The Miskin.
Nanimkin.
The Minkin.
You can't say his name.
I can't
Ken.
say his name.
Dan Nanimkin is the guy from Standing Rock that went to Burning Man.
Oh, yeah.
With the sellout Indians that sell ceremony and went to sell their sacred stuff and shared it with a bunch of, drug-fueled naked people. And, of course, here are... one of the what do you call these? Show the thing here. What is it called?
Oh, the little signs that people pinned on themselves?
They weren't signs. They were made out of cloth, honey.
Yeah, they're silk screened images on cloth that people taped or pinned to their jackets. Mm-hmm.
We have one of these.
Oh, yeah, I have a bunch of them. Yeah.
Oh, a bunch of them. People that got arrested gave them to us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And here's another post a picture she has with herself at Standing Rock.
Okay.
There she is. Ocheti Sakoin. Hashtag Miniwi Choni.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see her. But hey.
Hashtag water is life.
Mm-hmm.
She was at nature camp.
Oh, whatever that was.
She came with the people from Chicago, with her family from Chicago.
Wow.
Wait, I want you to look at who commented. Who's that first comment from?
Madeline Kelly Merritt.
Who's that? The person that founded Activate Now.
Oh,
L.A.
okay.
DeVest.
That's right.
She worked with Ed Higgins here.
Oh,
Ed Higgins here.
Mm-hmm.
He's disappeared now, but she's still around. She's still around working with all the people, working with the caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other person that comments right after that?
Maya Rose Berko.
That's the other actress. You know they're both actresses, right,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah, that's right.
They're both actresses. That comment, the other comment. Let's go to the next slide. Who else does she have on her Facebook page? Here's a picture of Joanne May Spotted Bear, right in center stage from Standing Rock. Mm-hmm. And who is next to her? Who is to her left?
Oh.
That's Vanessa Dundon.
Yeah.
That's Vanessa Dundon. That is Susie Desba, people. The same person that was commenting on Evan Duke's post about going to jail right now. Now, I want you to go back to this woman's Facebook profile. Okay?
All right.
We're going to stop right there for a second and go back to Susana Sandoval's Facebook profile right there. And I want you to put it up for me. And we're going to look at where she works. Can you read that? It says Santa Global Consulting is the first one. She's a CEO. And then the one after that says she works at the United Nations.
Oh.
Boom.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
Boom. United Nations, people.
Wow.
They're the ones that are now going to be running the shelter in Tijuana. Do you not see this? Do you understand? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to the next picture. Let's go to the next picture in her Facebook page. Here's the guy that did the hoax with Nathan Phillips at the Indigenous Peoples March. Raymond Kingfisher. There she is with him.
Wow.
And here she is with is this a guy named Taboo or the Black Eyed Peas guy that was hanging out singing and dancing with the serial rapist, fake lawyer, fake Indian, Red Wolf Pope.
That's who it is.
That was suing Trump. Remember I told you he was suing Trump?
Yep.
Sarah Jumping Eagle versus Trump. Look it up, folks. I can't make it up. Look it up. Danny Grassrope, the son of one of the quote-unquote headsmen from Standing Rock in the picture on the right. No hat.
Okay.
Of course, you know that it was these very headsmen that made the decision to frame an innocent woman named Kathleen Bennett for crimes she didn't commit. They put her mother, an Oglala Lakota woman, who was one of the few surviving ancestors of the first people of Wounded Knee, the first Wounded Knee massacre. And they also left this woman to rot in a jail. We were able to free her. We were able to expose that all of these frauds and liars had done this. And here's a picture of the Madeline Kelly Merritt. She's the one with the purple skirt and the blue turtleneck and the black coat.
I see.
And there's some random dude in the middle. And then Maya Burko is next, the actress. And then, of course, we got Susan Sandoval. And it says they're in a city somewhere, but it says that they are at Oceti Sacco and Standing Rock. That's not Oceti Sacco.
No, that's not.
No, it's not.
Middle of the city.
They're in maybe they're in
Bismarck.
Bismarck.
Maybe
Yeah,
in
they could be in
Bismarck.
Bismarck. I don't know if Bismarck has buildings that big though, honey.
I don't remember downtown looking like that.
No,
but-
it doesn't look like that.
They're
honey.
lying then.
I think they were at a march in Washington.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
That
they
looks like
all they definitely got all dolled up for all of those, made for TV, made for media propaganda.
All the
events.
pictures look like they're staged like
Yep.
that.
And the second one here is Maya and Madeline, and that's Madeline is wearing the purple blue thing, skull cap thing, and Maya Burko's right next to her.
Yeah.
And again, I think they are not at Standing Rock there.
Doesn't look
but
like it is there. I don't remember.
I think either
there's
the
no
Indigenous
hill.
People's March,
Yeah.
or it could be Washington when they went to that other thing.
Yeah.
And then here's one with Dallas Goldtooth of the Indigenous Environmental Network.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all here.
They didn't have trees like that in that.
No,
city
honey.
Chicoine.
Well, I think we've established this is definitely not in North Dakota.
I
Not in North
keep on
Dakota.
looking for some sort of landmark there.
Well, you're a North Dakota farm boy, born and raised, so you would be able to tell your own land, right?
Yeah.
And here's Aldo Sewani, the current boyfriend. He's number 3, right? Since Standing Rock of Pretend Indian. Rachel Doljalinit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Desiree Kane.
Desiree Kane, yes.
And behind him, not the one with the winky eye, but the guy next to him, that's the guy that was working with the veterans of the Veterans Stand for Standing Rock.
Yeah. The veterans
Armando Tellez. Remember,
I
he was
remember
another
Armando,
witness that came forward toward the
Yeah.
end that had some smack to talk.
Yeah.
Here's another picture, just in case you don't remember, of him from Standing Rock days. Armando and Maya took a picture together. Here's Maya Armando Tellez at Standing Rock when she's wearing the Water's Life beanie that all of the Veterans Stand for Standing Rock people.
Yeah.
Yep, the spies got. But here, and this is from Maya Rose's picture.
I see.
Facebook page. But this next one is again from Susan Sandoval's page. And it includes Menape. Look at her. She's
Oh, my
standing next
God.
to Menape. There's
criminal.
Dallas Goldtooth all the way on the left.
Yeah.
There's Tellez. There's all of the crew of the phonies that incriminated an innocent woman. The guy standing right next to you is a former meth dealer that did prison time in Iowa. I'm not making this up.
No, that's true. It's all true. It's all true.
That's who they work with. They work with criminals. Menape Lemaire is really George Menape Lemaire, and he is a former meth dealer. Go back and look at my shows. Go to kpppfm.com and type in that guy's name.
Exactly.
And find the shows where I talk about this criminal. Crimin' out at Standing Rock put an innocent woman in jail. And did he have any remorse for the damage he caused? No. Just like this pendeja for Trump, they do not have a conscience. They do not show the ability to empathize. Here, Susana shows that she didn't just hang out with her at an event. They buddies. Look at here's Joanne May Spotted Bear hanging out with her, drumming.
Yep.
This is a different date, different time. Here's another one with Susanna and her daughter at camp. The girl with the orange scarf is her daughter. That's her
I see.
daughter.
Okay.
And they went with the quote unquote second delegation from Illinois. I don't know what that means. They're bringing people. Guess who else she has pictures of? It's Alice Sharpton and Jesse Jackson.
Oh, God help us.
And of course, we have the Rainbow Push Coalition that was involved in the Jussie Smollett fake hate crime.
Amongst other things.
Yep. And of course, we have Susanna with Dave Archambault
my
of the
goodness.
Standing Rock Sioux Tribe.
Wow.
Folks, she was with all of the phonies, and she works at the UN. And now, all of these people are inserting themselves into what's happening at the caravans. Folks, that is my show for tonight. Are you ready for the super chat?
Yeah, give us a little break. Take a little break.
Are you ready
and we'll
for
do
the
super
super
chat.
chat? I can't hear you. Are you ready?
Yes.
The soup. Oh my God. Oh, you seriously. Get your donation ready.
Oh, yeah.
Get your donation ready right now.
Exclusive material.
I did extra hard work. Oh my God. You are going to literally lose your mind watching this show. Literally. Tag your friends. I'm going to give you 15 minutes to go potty. You got 15 minutes, folks. I'm going to give you 15 minutes. Get your popcorn, get your drinks. Go find a seat belt. Maybe get a puke bag. You might need one. Just the basics that you'll need for a super chat about Pendeja for Fraud. And get ready. Get ready. Call your friend, phone a friend. You should have watch parties. This is, watching these is a lot more fun when you have a watch party together. That's the best way to do it. Throw it up, project it onto the side of your building, and then get together in somebody's yard.
Yeah.
It's and then, just have fun with it. Go to Duke 1517. We will be back with you in about 15. I'll give you guys all a little break. And then we are going to bring you the super chat to the mother of all super chats on Pendeja for Fraud. You don't want to miss it. It is going to be a doozy.
Great.
Thanks for being with us here on A Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp.
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
You've been listening to 88.1 FM, KPPPLP, Fargo, KPPPLP, Fargo Moorhead.
That's right.
Where we are adding local color to your airwaves. See you in a bit.